of the GTSport Championship for Club 100 drivers. Here we are at the seaside circuit at Dragon Trail, based on a seaside resort in Croatia. It doesn't actually exist itself as a track, but if it did, it would be a wonderful circuit to go and visit. We are here for the final round of the championship. It was due to be round 2, but we had connection issues, so we were unable to run it that day. So we will head to the race soon enough. We're just setting the grid so that we can have a reverse grid from race 1. Just trying to remember what that grid will be. Actually, I should go somewhere here. We're currently looking at the Jaguar of Callum Brewell, who goes off the track there. Callum fighting for 5th in the championship with Calirai. We're both equal on points. Winner takes all from this race, so that'll be an interesting battle to watch out for. But I'm now just having a quick look for the championship. As I said before, we've got Ryan Sandell and Nathan Maximum and Trevor Randall all going for this championship. If you look back at our preview, you'll be able to know more about the championship, but we have to get into this race to fit the overpate on at the end of the day. So here we go. As you can see on the grid now, we have Team Pink's car of Peter Harris on pole position alongside Sam Dimlow, Martin Robinson and Andrew Maffer on row 2, Eric Mignon and Jay Elliott on row 3, and our championship rivals are all on the back 3 positions. So we're getting ready. Here comes the numbers, and we go at Dragon Trail Seaside. Great start by the BMW, has a brilliant launch off the line. Poor start by Peter Harris. Eric Mignon moves up into 2nd place, but it is Martin Robinson that leads in the BMW, McLaren of Mignon in 2nd, and the TT of Dimlow in 3rd. There's Peter Harris diving up the inside. There's a Jaguar with 4 abreast behind by the looks of it. It's Harris who comes out in 3rd place, Dimlow in 4th. But Callum Brewell has moved up into 4th ahead of Sam Dimlow. It's a great start there by the Jaguar. Can Callum keep his tyres together in this race to actually start moving forward on a feature race? Sam Dimlow in 5th, Clark in 6th, Kiev Calirai, as we've got some contact at the back, and that's involving Nathan Maxman, our championship rival to Ryan Sandell, having a bit of an issue and falling to the back of the field for now. Kiev Calirai there in 7th place. He'll be looking to chase down Callum Brewell, who's further up the field. As we look at, it's Peter Harris having a go at Eric Mignon for 2nd place, and Peter's gone right round the outside. A brilliant move by Harris as he moves himself after a terrible start back into 2nd place. As we go through the chicane of death for the first time, will everybody make it through? We hold our breath. Oh no, somebody didn't make it through there. It was Callum Brewell. Clips the inside wall on the 2nd apex and falls to the back of the field. Now just to have a look at our championship contenders, you can just see him ahead. There is Ryan Sandell and Nathan Maximum. Nathan dives up the inside of Jay Elliott, and so Ryan Sandell follows. That's all Ryan has to do. He just has to follow Nathan throughout this race to win this championship. But these two have certainly not made the progress up through the field that I would have expected at this stage, even though it's only lap 2 now. Further ahead, we've got Andrew Maffer having a look at Trevor Randall, who can still win this championship. Maffer going to be outside. You won't get round the outside of there, my friend. And we'll look further forward. Jack Cameron, good start in 7th, having a look at Tim Clark. Tim Clark, the absolute legend in these races, looking after the tyres so well as races go on. Tim actually now looking to the inside of Eric Mignon to move up into 4th place, but we can't take our eyes off this battle. Martin Robinson still leads, Peter Harris 2nd, Dimlow in 3rd, Clark 4th, just ahead of Eric Mignon, and Kiev Calirai will be next up to pick up the Clap Bloom of Town of Mignon, who's now looking at Clark. Cameron Drayton ran a bit wide on the exit there, you can see, into the gravel, but now Calirai has a look at Mignon. He's got up the inside of the McLaren. The McLaren might get a better run into the chicane, but it does look like Calirai will get the position, and he does, as they go line astern back through chicane. Will everybody make it through on lap 2? Looks like it so far. Mignon hits a wall. That was definitely Eric Mignon hitting the wall, and he has fallen down to 12th place now. It's Jack Cameron. He must have made a mistake. That touch on the gravel, or he also hit the wall in the chicane. But out in front, Martin Robinson leads. Very consistent at Wilton Mill from what I believe, 15th in every single one of his races last weekend, but he is now in P1 and taking Peter Harris with him. These two showing a very impressive turn of speed. A bit of lag there for Peter actually, unfortunately, but he's still going. In third we have Tim Clark, who's now fighting off the attentions of Calirai and Dimolo as they head towards Hebbing. Calirai nothing to lose, looking at the inside, but holds back, and that has allowed Trevor Randall, Maximin and Sandell all to join in this battle. Randall runs up the inside of Calirai and runs in wide. That's going to allow Maximin through. Will Sandell follow? Yes, Sandell follows. So Ryan Sandell just doing exactly what he needs to do to win this championship, and also what he needs to do to improve on the team's position in the championship. Calirai having a look back, but I doubt he'll have the speed on the Dodge Viper. As that's Maximin up the inside of Randall. Randall will cut back. I'll go side by side towards the chicane. Will Maximin get the better run out? Yes, he will by the looks of it. There's a penalty there for Randall. That'll be for cutting the inside of that hairpin. He'll make it through this time. Head out on to lap 4 with Martin Robinson now with us 8/10 lead. Peter Harris, the Iron Man, is slowly closing in on that BMW. It's an impressive drive by Harris so far, and we'll be looking for a good result to end his season, which hasn't been the strongest so far by any stretch of imagination for Harris. He's had some good speed, but just not the luck in the races. Ask everybody to subscribe to his channel as well, because if we run a second season there will be chances maybe for a second lobby and the streams to be run on both. So if you're interested in taking part in another season, please get in touch with us, either Sam Dimlo or myself, and we'll look into taking another lobby on as well. We had 2 other drivers due to join us tonight, couldn't make it on, but we still have a strong field of 13 cars. There's Jack Cameron at the back of the grid at the moment, and Callum Brewell has fallen back behind Eric Mignon. Now this is crucial for Callum's championship. If he wants to finish 5th, he really needs to start closing through the field again and helping also his team out in the championship. They are currently leading the championship by 8 points, and they really need both cars finishing well to close on that, to close that out against the team of Ryan Sandell and the impressive Peter Harris at this stage. Peter is really outscoring the rest of the team strongly. So Martin Robinson leads out onto lap 5. Peter Harris still that 9/10 behind, and it's a strong race so far for the bright yellow cars, as Sam Dimolo is holding off the championship organiser. We've got to say thanks to Sam for organising all of this, but he's holding off second in the championship, Nathan Maximin. Tim Clark, who's 5th in the race, 4th in the championship. Actually, we've got the top 4 in the championship all together in the back of this queue. There's Maximin, 2nd, Clark, 4th, Randall, 3rd, and our championship leader Ryan Sandell, who just needs a clean race, but he still has the attentions of Kirif Calirai right behind him, and Kirif won't be worried about. Oh, we had a slowdown for Trevor Randall there. I'm not sure what happened there, but he took the slowdown and he has fallen back behind Calirai. So we're now looking at Maximin in the blue McLaren. Maximin, really strong season for him, but a couple of races just lay him down and let that gap extend to Sandell as Dimolo runs wide there and the pack close in on him. It's Maximin's first season of Club 100 racing, and he's been very impressive on GT Sport and in the real world. His pace is certainly there, but when his racecraft is fully up to speed with Club 100 racing, he will be a threat for any of the series that Club 100 do, whether it be endurance or sprint racing, as Maximin now looks to be inside of Dimolo. The Club 100 test driver just gets run out the corner and continues to lead this battle for third place. Maximin goes to the outside. Will make it right down the outside of the chicane? I doubt it. Dimolo takes the line and Maximin feeds him behind. Behind we've got Clark and Sandell side by side. That is not a battle Sandell needs to be getting involved in, and he lets Clark go by the looks of that. He cannot get involved, and Kiev Kalirai knows that. Sandell goes to the inside of Clark again, and he'll make that stick, I think, as Kalirai still gets involved. The pace Kalirai's got today, I really think he's going to be a thorn in the side for Ryan Sandell here. He can't afford to get involved in an incident that causes a retirement. We'll look further back. There's Jay Elliott fighting off the attentions of Andrew Maffa at this moment, both in the Audi TT. Jay changing into it last time out. Maffa at Suzuka last time out was on the podium, so showing that this circuit isn't quite suiting Andrew Maffa here. But he's still ahead of Callum Brewell, who is really having to push hard to hold on to his 5th in the championship against Kalirai, who's running in P7 at the moment. There's Eric Mignon, teammate to Maximin, not able to help him out in the championship just yet, but it's still 19.5 minutes to go in this race. And there is Jack Cameron Drayton a bit further back, but certainly still able, as we see just in the distance, Callum Brewell passed by Mignon. It's just getting worse for Brewell at the moment, and he can see his 5th place in the championship just slipping away. But could they see the team's championship slipping away with Sandell and Peter Harris really going on strong in this race? Brewell and Clark really need to pick up the pace now. As we head back to our leader, Martin Robinson. Haven't seen a huge amount of him, but that start was brilliant from him. I think it was 3rd on the grid. As we see Peter Harris running wide just behind. Just going to try and change the cameras so we can have all the information on the screen. There is Martin Robinson, just controlling the pace at the moment. He's extended the lead to 1.5 seconds. He's paid 1:44.8. to 2nd off the fastest lap currently set by Ryan Sandell, who you can see in the background. They have managed to work their way past Sam Dimolo. There's some lag there for Peter Harris in 2nd, but here's the championship rivals. We've got them side by side here, Maximin and Sandell. They will be certainly Maximin trying to keep. Oh, Harris has hit the wall. That was Harris dropping back. So that is now the battle for 3rd. Where's Harris dropped back to? Back to 7th, 8th, maybe 9th by the end of that. We'll come back to him in a minute. But we'll look at our championship riders. Maximin holding off Sandell. This won't be enough for Maximin, but he will want to get the better of Sandell in this race, at least, to give himself any chance of a championship. But Sandell just doing what he needs to do, sitting behind Maximin. He doesn't need to get involved in a fight with Maximin. He can just cruise home. But how many championships over the years have we seen where all the driver needs to do is finish a race? Schumacher back in 2003 3, I believe it was, only had to finish 8th in the Japanese Grand Prix, and he seems to trip over everybody going, but Sandell isn't doing that at the moment and is controlling himself, not pushing too hard and taking advantage of chances when they come to him. Will either of these two win the race? Possibly, with the pace they're running at the moment. Maximin last time out a 45.2, Robinson a 45.6. There's consistent pace there by Robinson, but he now needs to pick it up with Maximin and Sandell heading back towards him. We'll still look at the battle between the championship contenders. They're not going side by side this time out, but Kiev Kalirai has gone to the inside of Randall, ran wide, and Randall gets back through. It's a trio of Audi TTs now, with Tim Clark in the Jaguar just behind, and actually Jay Elliott in the TT closing up onto the back of this pack. Elliott, who hasn't had the season he expected, races in the Next Gen League against Hirakram and some top drivers in that league, and he's shown well in those leagues, the Megane League, so you probably expect a bit more from this championship, but he's got a good chance here of closing on this pack and getting a good final result to his championship and helping lift Team Green off the bottom of the table. As we see, Peter Harris has gone for the early stop, and Callum Brewell, both of them in. There's Brewell, there's Peter Harris, out comes Harris, Brewell will follow, but Harris has gone for the soft tyres, and looks like Brewell's gone for the super soft again. Well, Brewell obviously thinking they will last the next 15 minutes to the end of the race, but currently running in last place is not enough for Brewell and Clark for the championship, especially with Ryan Sandell working his way up to third. But we have a change for lead. Maximin has caught Robinson, so has Sandell. Robinson got a penalty there, so he's obviously ran wide at one of the corners, but he's now having to defend from Sandell. Sandell doesn't need to follow him, not need to make this move, but he's going around the outside. Will he hold on? No, Robinson holds on to second, but Maximin now where he needs to be. He just needs to go out, win this race, try and get the fastest lap, which is currently in the hands of Ryan Sandell, taking that extra point away for now. But if, as Sandell now goes to the inside of Robinson, that'll be a done deal down into the final corner. So our two championship league rivals are first and second in this race. Robinson's still running well. Dives for the pits actually, Robinson, so the tyres must be starting to go off there, and that's why he lost his position to them front two. Dimilo's in as well, Kiev Kalirai's in as well, Trevor Randall's in as well, so a lot of pit stops happening. Robinson has gone for the soft tyre. I think that's probably because he found the super soft just run out a little bit quickly in that 15-minute stint he's just done. We've now got 13 minutes and 40 seconds to go, so obviously he's thinking, I can push to the end on the soft tyre, the super soft I might have to manage. That has promoted Jay Elliott up into 4th place. He still has to stop. Tim Clark up into 3rd. He still has to stop. But we know what Clark is like on these tyres. Could he possibly go to the end? He's very light on his tyres. We've seen that before. Would he be willing to push it to try and get to the end of the race? With his pace, would he be able to hold on? I'm not sure, but he is close enough that if he wanted to try it, it could work. And we'll go back to our leaders for now. There is Maximin coming through the death chicane with Sandell. Will they both make it through cleanly this time? Just about over the curbs, so McLaren moving about as he hits the curbs hard. It's the only way to get through that chicane quickly, but so easy to make a mistake. Sandell there in a nice comfortable position at the moment, not too close to Maximin, but if there's an incident he gets involved. But he would want to end this season with a win. He has been probably the strongest driver throughout every single race going. That's why he sits there with his 13-point championship lead. but he's also used his head throughout races. I can't think of an incident that he's got involved in. To be fair to the whole grid, I can't think of many incidents that we've actually had all season, which shows the clean driving of all these Club 100 drivers. But nobody pitted that time round, which is interesting. Trevor Randall has now got ahead of Martin Robinson. There's another penalty there for Martin Robinson. I'm not sure if that's the same one or which he hasn't quite scrubbed off, or he's picked up something else. But Randall up into a net third place at the moment. His favourite position, to be fair, is second and third places throughout the season. But he's currently on a new fastest lap of the race as well, as you saw it flash up there with the purple sector. 2 tenths up. Randall has finished third 5 times out of 7 races so far, so he will be looking not to get another third place, but maybe move up into second or first. He's also had one other podium. Is it one other podium, I think? No, 2 other podiums. Yes, basically 2 second places and 5 third places for Randall. The consistency has left him still in the championship hunt, but he would really need Maximin to fall downfield and Sandell to leave the game for him to have a chance of a championship. But you just never know. With the connection GTSport has had over the last month, you just never know. We've got 10.5 minutes to go. They are now closing in on Jay Elliott for 4th place. Jay, who hasn't stopped, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, his tyre wear, if that is correct, his front tyres are screaming enough soon. Luckily that isn't the same as the AWS indicator on the F1, so we can't tell you whether it's 10% wear and the tyres feel fine. But there we go with Randall now having a look on the fresher tyres. Elliott fights him off. Elliott's been in this position fighting Randall before on circuit, but Randall goes to the inside. Elliott knows it's not his battle at the moment, and he's just trying to get the tyres as far as he can. It does look like he's trying to go to the end. It will be interesting whether these drivers converge when they get towards the end of the race. Randall, the first car on the fresh rubber, 44.0 last time out. Clark a 45.1. Sandell a 44.8 and a 44.9 for the race leader. So there's about a second difference from fresh tyres to the old tyres, and that will only get bigger as the race goes on. So we currently have just over 9 minutes remaining, possibly 4 or 5 more laps. I can't see these drivers pitting now, so it is how quick can Randall go to catch these and how quickly the tyres will fall off the cliff. To be fair, we haven't had a feature race like this yet, where most drivers have been pitting for a one-stop rate, and we've not had this hare and tortoise scenario where we have these drivers trying to do a non-stop throughout the race. But Maximin still leads. He has not stopped. So he's got a second lead to Sandell. He has not stopped. Almost 5 seconds back is Clark, the guy who is normally the best at managing the tyres. Along with his pace, he's, as I said before, almost 4.5 seconds back from the leaders. You can just see him in the distance, but he is 5 seconds ahead of the fresh tyre rubbered Trevor Randall, who will be pushing hard. He's trying to set fastest lap to gain on Tim Clark. Randall is also bringing Calarai with him, who's also on the fresh rubber, and he is having a very strong performance here. I think he did in the non-championship race we had here actually, so not unexpected by Calarai, trying to match this podium that his teammate got in Suzuka, I expect. Martin Robinson still hanging on there. He did pit as well. He's moved up into 6th ahead of Jay Elliott, who's the other car that hasn't pitted yet. You can see the front tyres there screaming, but Elliott has gone past the point of no return and needs to try and finish this race on a set of tyres, or any result will be gone, as Dimelo dives for the inside and takes the position easy. Elliott knows this game. He's just trying to get through to the end of the race. He took the risk with his strategy, hasn't quite paid off, but he might be able to get himself a top 8 here if he can hold on. He's 6 seconds clear of Peter Harris, who was going so well early in the race, and just, I think he hit the wall at the death chicane on lap 4 or 5, and it hasn't gone, or it might have been a bit further into the race actually, because he was running in 2nd place for a long time behind Martin Robinson. He has Callum Brule just behind. Now Callum was looking for 5th in the championship with Kieran Callery. Callery looking at a podium. Brule just trying to fight off the attentions of Andrew Maffa, Callery's teammate. So Maffa could do his teammate a huge favour here by getting past Brule. There's Jack Cameron Drayton in the Dodge Viper. Credit to Jack. This car has, apart from in the hands of Ryan Sandell, has jinxed everybody in this championship. I believe we had 3 at the start of the year with Jay Elliott. Jack and Jay just couldn't get to grips with it. Somehow Sandell has, but credit to Jack for keeping on with it to the end of the season. And just behind that is Eric Mignon in the McLaren. The blue McLaren's bookending race results at the moment with 1st and last, but only 30 seconds off the lead at the moment, and just at 5.5 minutes to go. So this shows how close the field is after 25 minutes of running. There's just over a second lap between the whole field. And you've got to remember, people like Eric have pitted, people like Nathan haven't, so that's going to cost you at least 5 or 6 seconds. But we'll go back to our leaders. Let's see how they are getting on. The gap between the 2 championship rivals has not changed at all, but Tim Clark is being closed down by Trevor Randall. Randall on fresher rubber has halved the gap, and it's less than 3 seconds now to Tim Clark, so that is going to be the closest battle on circuit. Randall has dropped Kieran Callery by 1.5 seconds, but Callery still hanging on. Randall again slightly up through this section. If he can get the final part of this lap right, we may be looking at a new fastest lap of the race. I do also have to remind you all that Randall is on a controller, not a wheel like most of this field. I think Martin Robinson is the only other controller driver on the grid, but to control these cars at this pace with a controller is pretty impressive. It'd be even more impressive if he goes on to win the O plate after this event, because the go-karts with a controller are impossible to drive. But I'm sure Trevor will give it his best shot. But he continues to close in on Tim Clark. Gap down to just over 2 seconds at the end of this lap, so it looks like Randall might take yet another 3rd place at the moment, but Clark's still got time to hold him back. We've got just over 3 minutes to go. The championship is looking sealed for Ryan Sandell at this moment in time. There's Martin Robinson still getting rid of that penalty. Robinson pushing on at the moment with teammate Sam Dimelo close behind. It's a good result this for this team. They've been strong at times throughout the season, and the results just haven't come. So a 6th and 7th would be a strong end to their season. Peter Harris works his way now up into 8th place. He is trying to score strong points to help Team Pink in the championship. His teammates Ryan Sandell looking at the win, but right behind him is Callum Brule, who is part of the championship winning side. So I think at the moment this will be enough for Team White just to win the championship. But it's certainly going to reduce their 8-point advantage at the moment. There is Brule in the Jaguar trying to just get on terms with Harris here. He's been trying for most of the race to get on terms with Harris in the TT. Here comes Andrew Maffa. He's currently in 10th place with Jack Cameron Drayton and Jay Elliott and Eric Mignon behind. And Jay is still on that first set of tyres. Incredible performance by Jay, considering people are driving around him left, right and centre due to them having the fresh rubber. But Jay is sticking to his principles. He's decided he wasn't going to pit in this race, and he is going on to his final lap now. And can he hold off Eric Mignon and take that 12th place? Bit of weaving down the straight there by Jay. Just watch out for Eric, because Eric will be on the fresher rubber. But we will head to our leaders. There is Maximin, there is Sandell, and Randall is getting there. But will it be a bit too late to get to Clark? There is 45 seconds completed in this lap and less than a minute to go. I don't think the third and fourth are going to get another lap. The two leaders might, but I believe this will be the last lap for third and fourth place. So will Randall be able to get a good run through the chicane and a dive into the final corner? I think he's a bit far back now. 9/10 of a second the gap. Can Randall push Clark into a final lap? It's so close on time between these two that actually Clark might get another lap, but Randall might not. This is how close it is. 18 seconds remaining. So as we look forward, Maximin will get another lap as he comes round the top of a hill. So Maximin crosses the line, he gets another lap. Sandell just gets another lap. So Tim Clark is going to finish in third place in this final race of the season. Trevor Randall gets fourth, may have got third with another lap, just couldn't close in. Kev Calirai comes in fifth. Sam Dimolo just pips his teammate Martin Robinson to sixth. A good performance for that team. Here comes Peter Harris, who holds off Callum Brule for 8th place. Maffa comes home in 9th. Cameron Drayton in 11th, Eric Mignon in 12th, and Jay Elliott on that same set of tyres he started on in 13th. But there is Nathan Maximin. He did everything he could from the back of the grid to win this race. He won't get the fastest lap, but he will come home to take the final win of the season. But it won't be enough to deny Ryan Sandell, who has driven brilliantly in that Dodge Viper all season long, picked his battles today to pick through the field and follow Maximin all the way to the line, and the championship is decided. There's no way these two will fall out of the top two positions in the race. Sandell still pushing through that chicane on the final lap. Unbelievable. There is the rest of the pack slowing down on the slowdown lap, but into the final corner he comes, and Nathan Maximin is going to pick up the final win of the season here at Dragon Trail Seaside. As he comes out of the final corner, he goes to the pit wall, he flashes the lights, he weaves across the line, and Maximin wins. But our champion is Ryan Sandell. As he crosses the line, Maximin spins, but Sandell is the champion. Third is Tim Clark, and Trevor Randall comes home off the podium for the first time this season. So looking quickly at the championship before we head to the O Plate, I believe, and this is only with quick maths, your champion will be Ryan Sandell, the Sprint 60 driver. Second will be Nathan Maximin. Trevor Randall will come home in third, even though he missed out on third in that race. Tim Clark in fourth. Kev Calirai will move up into fifth in the championship, ahead of Callum Brule. Martin Robinson and Sam Dimlo. I think Martin will just beat Sam by a point, possibly. Andrew Maffa will come end the championship in 9th, and Jay Elliott will probably lose 10th to Jack Cameron Drayton, and Peter Harris will beat Eric Mignon to 12th. With the teams championship, which was the closer championship that we believe we had at the start of tonight's action, I think Team White will have just held on to their championship lead and take the team standings ahead of Team Pink, involving our champion Ryan Sandell. Team Purple should hold on. I'm not sure we'll hold on actually to 3rd place, because Trevor Randall was the only point scoring car in the race tonight, and Maximum won, and Eric Mignon was in 12th, so they may have got enough points to nick 3rd in the championship. But the full credit to Team Purple. Trevor Randall there has been a driver who's had to race himself for a bit of a season due to Freddie missing around, Freddie Gallagher, and also having random teammates in Rory 7 it was, who joined him in the team for one round. Team Yellow might pit Team Black to this. I think it'd be honours even there, and Team Black will take 5th from Team Yellow, and Team Green will bring up the rear after their struggles with the Dodge Viper this year. So that is our championship. Now we are on to the O plate. Now this will be interesting. We will go into this race. There is no teams now. This is all down to who will be best in these Club 100 painted karts. I've got to put full credit to Martin Robinson, who is on your screen right now, who put these karts together and designed them, put the numbers on for everybody, who will be carrying, I believe, their number plates from their championships from 2020. Here we are at the Miyabi circuit for this O plate. 3 heats and a final. I will just bring up the grids on my phone so that I can tell you who will be starting where. I think they're changed early on. Here we go. Heat 1. This is a 10-minute practice, so you're missing no action at the moment. We will see other people join in, as in Andrew Maffa, who has just left the level. The interesting thing about this race, as somebody goes bouncing over the curve there, is these are gearbox karts, but there is only really one braking point on this circuit. We'll go on board with somebody soon enough if we can. I'll probably go on board with Ryan Sandell, who is our champion. As you can see, they've all got their race suits. As you can see, if you don't know who Ryan Sandell is, but you race in Sprint 60, you will recognise that helmet and suit combination. So unlike the car racing we've had so far, this is going to be much clearer of who is who. So we're going to go on board with Ryan Sandell for a lap of the Miyabi circuit. We're coming through the final chicane now, and it's best to stay off the curbs with these karts. It is very skittish, but we come across the start finish line now in 6th gear and just turn into this corner. It's a long backed corner. The slipstream will still be working through here, so all the drivers will be wanting to stick with that slipstream. As you can see, Nathan and Martin, who were in the slipstream duo, have moved up into 1st and 2nd in practice. Still flat out through this left-right kink. Probably a chicane in the cars, and this is the only braking area. Down into 5th gear, keeps it in, drops it down into 4th on the exit. Good catch there by Ryan Sandell, bit weavy, and he just about collects it on the other side of the chicane, and that is a lap of Miami circuit, only 40 odd seconds long, 43 that time out. So it's going to be really close to see what is going to happen for this race. But I am just going to literally give my voice a break for a minute while we do this 10-minute practice session, and I will let you follow the action, and I will be back with you any minute to give you the grid for Heat 1. We are back here for the Club 100 O-Plate meeting here at the Miami circuit. You're currently looking at Eric Mignon, who will be joining us on the grid, and I will now take you through the Heat 1 grid for the first ever GTSport Club 100 O-Plate meeting. Most of these drivers are racing in our current championship that we just had. We've got a couple of people who have dropped out, I believe. Not sure they've joined us. Let's just have a check through. We've got 12 people at the moment, so we're missing somebody. Let me just back out and see if we can find out who. Oh, it's Mr. Maffa hasn't joined us yet. There's Sam Dimolo sitting in the pits. If you don't know Sam from a Club 100 weekend, that is pretty much the sight you see of him unless he's out testing, so you'll recognise him now. But the grid for the opening heat of today, we have Andrew Maffa on pole position. Let's see how the Double Dash Motorsport media commentator will do from the front row. In grid 2 we have Callum Brewell joining him on the front row. Where is Callum? What is there somewhere? There we go, there's Callum Brewell. He'll be joining him on the front row. Row 2 we will have Eric Mignon and Jack Cameron Drayton. Row 3 we do not have Justin Buck and Josh Williams in the lobby at the moment, so I presume that as they didn't join us for the last race, so it won't be in for this O-Plate, but we'll give them a chance to join. If they're not there, then moving up to 6th will be Keith Callie Wright and Martin Robinson. Our next row will be Nathan Maximin and Peter Harris, Ironman Peter Harris. As you all know, I mentioned it in the previous event, and there is Peter Harris, the Ironman, with the 69 plate as he always requests when he races in Club 100. Next up will be Ryan Sandell, our GTSport champion. We'll be looking to add the O plate to his as we look back at him there trying to control the car. That is Ryan Sandell, who will be looking to add the O plate to his championship bit he's just won. Sam Dimolo will be in 13th, Tim Clark 14th, and Trevor Randall 15th. Obviously anybody from 8th onwards will move up 2 positions if we don't have Justin Buck and Josh Williams join us. Please like and subscribe to this channel if you want to see some more Club 100 action. Hopefully there'll be more coming from GT Sport next season if we decide to run a new season and another lobby. So please subscribe, and hopefully, and if not, you will get more Club 100 action from the real life Club 100, hopefully when we resume racing. Not sure what Sandell is doing there. If he does that in the race, he won't be retaining his O plate, and I think JV would be having a word with him about the tyres. Oh, he's practicing a start by the looks of it. It's amazing you can actually put traction control on these cars. But that will be our Heat 1 starting very soon. We've just got to put the grid. Yeah, there we are. There's Sam Dimolo now setting up the grid. As I've said before, at the end of the endurance race, thank you for Sam for setting up this championship. He's done a great job, and hopefully we'll be looking at a second season, maybe with 2 lobbies next season. But here we go, the first heat of the Club 100 O-Plate meeting. There the karts are all on the grid. It'll be standing start with these karts, not the regular Club 100 rolling up start. So there's Andrew Maffa and Callum Brewer on the front row. I can bet my money we will see somebody going backwards before we reach turn 1, because these karts are very skittish as they accelerate away. Once you get them going, it's much better. But 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and we're away for Heat 1. Good start by Maffa, good start by Brewer. Minion got away well, and they're all actually pointing in the right direction. I've got to be honest, I didn't expect that. But it's Maffa that leads from Brewer, and we have a full-on fight behind between Cameron Drayton, Robinson, Maximin. Oh, we'll have to work this one out. This is like a Club 100's 1 lap sprint. Cameron Drayton to the inside of... Oh, Cameron Drayton's off into a wall there and back down to last place. But it's Brewer going for the lead, and Callum Rye trying to go right round the outside. That will never work. But Brewer now leads. Callum Brewer, who picked up his first heat victory in Club 100 at the final round last weekend, now leads, and that confidence is certainly helping him along. In second place we have a huge battle, 3 side by side, with Sandell, our GT Sport champion, who's moved up into second place, and that is a mega start by Sandell. Sandell has come through from what was a net 10th on the grid, and he is already up in second place with Maximum alongside, and he was just a row ahead of him on the grid. But they're both good to be inside of Brewer, and now the 2 championship rivals are at it again as Maximin now takes the lead. But slipstream is all important, so Brewer tucks in behind, and this is going to be a race which is literally like racing at Lid. You've got a hairpin at each end, a couple of chicanes, and slipstream galore. In 4th place we've got Martin Robinson showing well early on, Pierre Calleray in 5th, Jay Elliott running well in 6th, Eric Mignon up in 7th at the moment, but we can't take our eyes off his leaders as Sandell defends to the inside, half a kart inside, Maximin to the outside, and Robinson takes 3rd off Brewer. Great dive block move there by Robinson. And Calleray now next to have a look at Brewer as Brewer runs wide, and Robinson's in the wall. Robinson spun out on the exit of the final corner. We are now into lap 4, and the 2 rivals, these 2 drivers cannot be separated all through the GT Sport Championship, and now they're keeping it clean on here, but it's a lot harder with these karts to keep the racing clean, but they're doing so far. We've got Calleray on the grass there. Where's Calleray going? manages to recover as Elliott, Mignon and Dimelo all close up behind. As Dimelo goes up the inside of Mignon, doesn't quite make it work. Behind that we've got Tim Clark and Trevor Randall. Randall on the controller like Robinson. There is Cameron Drayton, Maffa, and there is Robinson after he rejoined. But the top three are all together. Brule has rejoined the fight and these have got away as we go on to the final lap. Sandell goes for the inside. Brule follows him through. Opportunistic by Brule, and he's gone for the lead as well. Is that the right idea with the slipstream? Sandell keeps to the inside and retakes the lead. It's going to be heart in your mouth stuff throughout all of these heats. They go free rest into the final corner, and it's Sandell who's going to come out a bit in the lead, but he's a bit squirrely. Brule sticks to the outside, and as they come out the final corner, it is Sandell that's going to take the win in heat number 1 from Maximin and Brule. Jay Elliott comes home in 4th, a great drive by Jay. Kirv Calirai in 5th, Sam Dimelo in 6th, Trevor Randall in 7th, Tim Clark in 8th, 9th for Mignon, Peter Harris in 10th, Jack Cameron Drayton after a spin in 11th, Robinson after a spin in 12th, and Andrew Maffa coming home 13th. Something must have happened to Andrew on the final lap. Well, take a breath everybody, that was heat 1 already complete, and those 5 laps go by very quickly, but Sandell up from 10th to win heat number 1. What a race by our current GT Sport champion. We will now go on to heat number 2 straight away. It's like Club 100 race days, quick fire all the way along. So in heat number 2 we have Tim Clark on pole position, joined by Ryan Sandell on the front row. If Sandell can win from 10th, what can he do from 2nd? Nathan Maximin in 3rd, joined by Kirv Calirai. Jack Cameron Drayton will be in 5th, along with Callum Brewell in 6th, Trevor Randall 7th, Sam Dimelo 8th, Peter Harris 9th, Martin Robinson in 10th. Jay Elliott will be 11th, Eric Mignon 12th, and Andrew Maffa bringing up the rear of this Heat 2 grid. And I think it's about time to take a quick break. I could just see in the live chat Kirv Calirai saying, "My arms." Yes, it's you really have to hold on to these carts on this game, and we've got a bit of craziness going on. Some donuts in the go-karts here. There is Andrew Maffa just leading the pits in the Double Dash Motorsport Media. If you have chance, go to his YouTube page and subscribe. Some great action on there, and also like their Double Dash Motorsport Media Facebook page. Andrew and Howard do a great job of the commentary on the Club 100 and BUKC action throughout the year, and this year has been a tough year to sort of keep motivation with commentary, I think, with things not happening, but it's so good to see motorsport back on action, and Andrew and Howard calling it, especially throughout this Club 100 season. And in January, February, I believe the BUKC will be restarting with the 2 commentating, so that will be great to see. Filmed by Alpha Live as well, so 2 of the Club 100 partners there who will be alongside Club 100 at all BUKC rounds this season. A couple of extra practice laps coming in here while Sam Dimelo sets the grid. As you can tell, it's going to be fast and furious as we have 5 seconds for the next heat to begin. This is literally like a Club 100 event. We're not going to have time to breathe. So we go on to heat number 2. The front row of Tim Clark and Ryan Sandell. There, Ryan in his fluorescent blue livery. You have Nathan Maximin and Kirv Calirai on row 2, Jack Cameron and Callum Brewell on row 3. Callum looking to be getting another good result after 3rd place in the opening heat. but we're looking at the lights again. We've got 4 lights, we've got 5 lights, and we're away here at Miyabi. A poor start by Tim Clark. Reaction's not quite there as much as Ryan Sandell, and Sandell now leads already. Maximin already up in 2nd place. That's 2 drivers who finished 1st and 2nd in Heat 1 are already 1st and 2nd in Heat 2, but they now have 5 laps to fight it out and keep it clean. Oh, somebody going flying off there. We will scroll back and try and see who that was. It's Sam Dimolo. Sam Dimolo hitting the brakes, probably just testing the car. You know, we know how that discussion goes quite often. So Sam Dimolo just testing the limits of the car a bit early on. He's got 4 laps to catch up there, and 7 seconds to catch to Andrew Maffer, who is in 12th. But we head back to the front and we have Nathan Maximum, Ryan Sandell, Tim Clark, Kev Calirai and Callum Brewell all together in a pack. They've pulled away slightly from Martin Robinson and Trevor Randall. Randall and Robinson doing a great job on their pads to be able to race these karts at the speed, but they are going to join because at the front Tim Clark has gone for the lead. Maximin is still there at the moment. Callum Brewell now looking at the inside of all of them. Brewell really going for that and moving up into 2nd place. Great move by Brewell. Sandell getting a bit roughed up with Tim Clark there. I think everyone's got a bit fed up as Sandell keep winning, so they're going to start roughing him up, and the top 7 are in a line. And to be honest, if these lot keep fighting, Peter Harris, Eric Mignon and Andrew Maffer could rejoin the back of this pack, and we could have a queue of 10. But back to the front, it is Sandell now having to attack for the lead, going to be outside. Maximin still leads it, but Sandell's inside. Kev Calirai having a look, and it is 3 abreast into the corner. Who's going to come out on top? I think Maximin. That was a clever move by Maximin there. He saw that everybody was on the inside and just kept it wide enough before he was going in the pits there. Just kept it wide enough to keep the momentum but not cause any contact with the other driver, and you'll be spat off the circuit. So now look, we've got Maximin, Sandell. Sandell now goes to the lead. Kev Calirai up in 2nd. Now looking at Maximin, we've got a top 7 here fighting for the win. Robinson just holding on at the back there at the moment, as we're now already going to start looking at going on to the final lap. There's karts all over. I've seen more lines on a 5-year-old's drawing. But we go on to the final lap now. Maximin, Calirai and Sandell battling for the win. They have slightly pulled clear of Martin Robinson, who, as I said before, was 7th a minute ago. Now Tim Clark is, who is leading on lap 2. This is non-stop action, and Sandell looks for his 2nd heat win of the night. He moves ahead of Maximin. Has he moved it forward too early though? That's going to give Calirai a run up the inside. Calirai will just send it. He sends it and he takes the lead, but Maximin right round the outside. Nathan Maximin is going to take the 2nd heat win of the day. That is a brilliant line he had there. We got Randall off into a wall on the outside, but Maximin wins. Sandell 2nd, Robinson climbs up into 3rd. A great last couple of laps by Robinson. Calirai 4th, Brewell a strong 5th, Clark 6th, Eric Mignon 7th, Andrew Maffer moves up into 8th place, Peter Harris 9th, Randall 10th after his exit on the final corner into the wall, 11th Cameron Drayton, 12th Dimolo, and 13th Jay Elliott. Must have had an issue somewhere on that race. Well, that is some fast-paced action throughout the race, but it is a win for Maximin, and these two are going hammer and tongue. If you can win one race, I'll win another, and they are coming clear in this championship already, looking like they'll be the front row men as we go into heat number 3. And the grid for heat 3, we have Trevor Randall on pole position with Sam Dimolo, Peter Harris and Martin Robinson on row 2, Jay Elliott will be 5th with Eric Mignon in 6th. Andrew Mafra up in 7th with Tim Clark in 8th. Ryan Sandell will start 9th this time with Nathan Maxman in 10th. Kev Calirai in 11th. Jack Cameron Drayton in 12th. And Callum Brule bringing up the rear in 13th. So Brule with a lot of work to do after 2 strong results so far, so he will be looking to just to cement a good place in the final. Craig Brown in the chat saying great race that last one. It's a great race to watch, but impossible to call it as the race is going on, because there are changing positions left, right and centre. We will rejoin some of the on-track action, as for some strange reason they still want more practice. There's Sandell out there again. I don't think he needs to practice. We should ban him from testing at the moment. Him and Maximin are dominating this championship at the moment. This O-Plate meeting around the Miyabi circuit in Japan at Kyoto. Oh, Sandell, that's the first mistake I've seen him make all night, all season really. And he slides into Peter Ironman Harris there with a 69 plate on his kart. The former super heavyweight champion, elite class driver, I believe. Yes, he moved up to be elite class with Rob Moore from the Clubmans, and the year Harry Neal won it in 2017. Peter been out the racing this year, but will be looking to return in the near future. We love having Peter around the paddock. As we go on to heat number 3 already. Fast-paced action in this O-Plate. So we have Trevor Randall and Sam Dimolo on the front row, Peter Harris and Martin Robinson on row 2, as we wait for the lights again, and we'll get this final heat underway. Everybody looking for their last chance to score points towards the grid on the final. We've got 5 red lights and we are away at Kyoto Miyabi. Great start by Trevor Randall off the front row with Sam Dimolo in 2nd. Peter Harris under pressure from Martin Robinson in 3rd as Robinson moves up. Robinson could be a very strong contender in this final. He's had a strong races as we see a spinner near the back. That is Tim Clark. He's going to struggle to have a strong place in this final now. On the grid, it's Randall that leads from Robinson, Sam Dimolo up into 3rd place, Peter Harris in 4th, Jay Elliott 5th, and Andrew Matherin 6th as they spread out around the hairpin. As you can see, everybody has a different line. That's Peter Harris getting a bit sideways, and actually Jay Elliott straightening him up so he doesn't lose too many more positions. But it's Andrew Maffer who has took advantage of that to move up into 4th place as the leaders go 3 wide, but Randall continues to lead. Trevor Randall using all his years of experience to keep this lead at the moment, but Martin Robinson has just snipped through as I say that, and Sam Dimolo will follow him. But this battling has allowed the rest of the pack to close up, and they spread out again into the one braking area on this circuit. 12 karts all still together. The only one I don't believe is Tim Clark. The rest of it, and it's Nathan Maximin. Maximin has gone off on the final corner, and I'm not sure where he is. There he is, just rejoining ahead of Tim Clark. So that has blown Maximin's chance of well, he's had a 1st and 2nd so far, but that is a poor result and will not mean he's on pole position for this A final. And somebody else has gone flying off the circuit there, so we're down to 9. That is Jack Cameron Drayton. Andrew Maffer has dropped off the back of the pack as well, so we're down to 9 for the lead as we go round onto lap 4. That's Jay Elliott getting sideways. That's down to 8 now. Or will Jay just hold on to the slipstream? It looks like he will. There is Ryan Sandell having a look at Callum Brule for 5th place, but the top 4 have got away here. We've got Trevor Randall still leading from Sam Dimlow and Peter Harris and Martin Robinson we have here up front. And I would not want to be leading on to this final lap, to be fair. This race is all about slipstream, and I would be only wanting to lead as I exit this corner, to be fair. But it's now Peter Harris who now leads for the first time tonight. Harris, who's moved up, not had the best couple of heats so far, but this is his best run so far. Randall in second, Robinson in third and Dimlow in fourth. But if these four keep battling, that battle for fifth with Brule leading, will be back into this pack, and it can be anyone's chance down into the final corner. I think that's what they're hoping. Harris has dropped back now into the clutches of Brule, but it is Randall, Robinson and Dimlow for the win at the moment. Randall goes defensive, very defensive into this corner, but we saw that didn't work for Maximin last time out because he went right round the outside. Dimlow goes up the inside of Robinson, but it's going to be Trevor Randall who wins the final heat, I think. No, Randall spun on the final corner, he's gone, and the win's going to go to Sam Dimlow. Trevor Randall has spun on the final corner and falls down. He's actually spun into the pit lane. He had such a big spin there, but it's Sam Dimlow who takes the win, the Club 100 test driver. Second, Martin Robinson. Third for Ironman Peter Harris. Fourth for Callum Brule. Fifth for Jay Elliott. Sixth, Keir Callie-Rye. Seventh, Ryan Sandell, the lowest position he's been for a while. Eighth, Eric Mignon. And Trevor Randall threw it away over the curb on the final corner and is now looking at an outside top 10 place on that race. He even spun into the pit lane. So that fast-paced race is all over, and what a dramatic end with Trevor Randall spinning out into the pit lane. He will be absolutely gutted with that on the controller. Did so well to get there, and yes, you're absolutely right, Loopy Racing. The commentator's curse is there. I thought Randall had that sorted there, and I think I must have borrowed it off Andrew Maffa and Howard Mitchell there, because they normally have the curse with them. Just to answer your question as well, Loopy Racing from the chat, each person was given a front, a middle and a back position, an average grid position over the heats, and they all score points for their final position, and then that will make the grid up for the final race, which will be coming up, and that will be a 10-minute heat, a 10-minute final. Hopefully I will get Sam to send me the grid before we head out. So we're looking now, it's now been changed to 10 laps apparently, so not 10 minutes, it's 10 laps, sorry, not because we had the heats of 5 laps, and I'm so used to minutes in Club 100 that I've lost track of what our actual format was tonight. But what some racing, absolutely slipstreaming to the extreme, and if this was a real track, maybe we could have persuaded JV to take us there instead of going to Spa. But we're now just waiting for the grid to be built by Sam Dimlow for this final. We're just awaiting a grid to come up. Nathan Maximin saying in the chat we should have round 2 immediately. I don't think my voice would take it, to be fair. How somebody like Andrew and Howard, how they keep up with all the racing in the Club 100 days, I've spoke to them before, and it's, because it's so fast paced, it is a real struggle for them to find themselves to take a breath, and the racing isn't even as crazy as this. We don't all, well, we do have 3 abreast at times, but I don't think we have as many lines because we don't have such a wide track. as I said before, everybody has their own lines in these karts, and because of the wide track, you just don't know who's going to be able to just brake later and take position. So we're just, as I say, just testing. Well, you think the drivers would have enough and just want to rest for a bit, but Martin Robinson saying, "I've never laughed so hard at a GT Sport race." Well, that's what we're bringing you, the entertainment factor, and I am sure every single one of these drivers will close down GT Sport at the end of tonight and look back on the stream to watch this iPlate meeting, because it has been crazy so far. And now we're going to have a 10 lap race to the flag and see who we can crown our O-Plate champion. And going off those races, it could be absolutely anybody's guess. One mistake and you could be out of the slipstream, and we will have a surprise winner. In fact, I don't think anybody would be surprised. All of them have done brilliantly not to lose it more times than they have. We've watched the chat over the last few days, people saying they've tested around different circuits, and they've all said, "Oh well, I went off here or I went off there, or I couldn't keep the kart under control." But we've had a huge amount of people actually doing really well in this race, and I hope the final is as exciting as we had before. Double Dash Motorsport Media saying people are going to get realmed. If we had Super GT here with his Shadow Realm, maybe a few will be going to join it. While we're here and we've got a bit of a break, as I said before, subscribe to the Double Dash Motorsport Media channel. They've got some great action on there. Alpha Live's channel, Club 100 channel, has a lot of older videos on there as well as the newer ones, so you can watch some historic Club 100 racing from years gone by, including one where, sorry to say it for Jay Elliott, who I will bring up on screen somewhere. Where is he? Is he out on track? There he is, Jay Elliott getting passed by new Grand Prix driver Jack Aitken. Yes, Jack Aitken has driven in Club 100 in prep for the John Surtees race, I believe, or Henry Surtees race, sorry. So, yeah, there's a very nice overtaking move by Jack on Jay into turn 2 at Wilton Mill. He'll love me for reminding him of that. So, Double Dash Motorsport, Alpha Live, Club 100, and go and like all of their Facebook pages and Twitter pages as well. That would be great if you could, because they can have all the support that is possible. Speaking of Club 100, registrations opened on Monday, and I believe they were flying out the window. I've heard numbers of about 290 people subscribing before 8 PM in the first 3 hours, which is just amazing really, and it shows that Club 100 is just getting more and more popular because of the access, because of the links from Motorsport UK, and just the excitement and the racing that Club 100 brings. And we've got to thank JV and all his crew, Will Chew, Sam Dimlow, Nicky Richardson, all the mechanics, all the organisers behind the scenes for what has been a really tough year. It's been great to have them be able to bring us a bit of normality with some Club 100 racing live out on circuit. And also thanks to Steve Hicks, who started the iRacing Championship to keep the social side of the championship going throughout the opening lockdown, and Sam Dimlow for bringing us this championship. And we hope both will be continuing alongside the Real World Club 100 in 2021. So we're just currently for some reason the drivers wanting to get even more laps in of this circuit. I'm surprised they're not getting dizzy at the moment, and for the people on controllers, their fingers are probably getting pretty tired on this accelerator. But Sam is just setting up the grid. I think Sam is still in the pits, yes he is, as he just heads out. and he has started the final, and we have 5 seconds to go until the, I could call it the A final, but we don't have a B final. So here we are, the final of the Club 100 O-Plate Championship. And the grid is as follows. Our GT Sport champion Ryan Sandell on the front row with Callum Brule. Nathan Maximum ruined that off that front row after that issue in the last race. Kirk Kelly right in 4th, Martin Robinson 5th, Dimlo 6th, Harris 7th, Elliott 8th. Here we go. The lights are now coming on for this 10-lap final. This is going to be complete chaos, but controlled chaos. And we're away. Sandell, who leads from Brule, Maximum, everybody away pretty well. Let's see if the top 5 have sprinted away slightly off the start. That's Peter Harris, who's moved up into 6th place. But let the battling commence as we go down to the chicane for the first time. Sweep through there. Maximum trying to attack Brule. Curve Calirai just behind, and Martin Robinson. Calirai looking to try and go for the lead in almost going 4 abreast. Sandell and Maximum side by side. Sandell almost spat out the side, but it's Calirai who comes across to lead the opening lap from Brule. Sandell will be in 3rd from Robinson and Maximum, but the rest of the pack have rejoined this fight, and it is now a full-on fight. We haven't lost anybody. No, there's Maffa and Mignon at the back, so we still have a full-on 13-car fight for the lead here. A couple of cars, somebody on the grass. That's Ryan Sandell. That is Ryan Sandell, who has spun out. He's lost the slipstream, and that is his chance of the O-Plate and Championship double gone, I think. Unless there's mistakes, but this is absolute chaos in front, so if he gets some clean laps he might be able to fight back, but I think that is it, and I think Sandell will be out. And that's Dimelo. Dimelo's gone at the final corner, so Dimelo's chances have gone now. And Robinson has gone off. They're all going off. We've got Robinson off, and Jay Elliott has fallen down to 10th place. He must have been involved with Robinson there, so we're down to 9 at the front. There's Cameron Drayton taking his time at the back. You never know, he might just get there. It's Calirai and Brule still at the front with Maximum. And Tim Clark has come from absolutely nowhere up into 4th place. Eric Mignon in 5th. Maffa in 6th. Harris in 7th. Mignon back down to 8th now, with Randall up into 5th. But Maximum has pulled out a bit of a gap now in the lead. You got Calirai and Brule in fighting for 2nd place. They need to hold on to the back of Maximum. They can't let him go. These 8 carts need to work together to bring Maximum back into the battle, and they've done so. Slipstream so strong on these go-karts. As I say, it's even worse than being at lid for slipstream. And I'm 6'4" in the kart, so I know exactly how bad slipstream can be for you. But it's still Maximum in the lead from Calirai and Brule. That was quite a calm lap. Everybody seemed to hold position, apart from Jack Cameron, who has moved up into 5th place. Could he spring a surprise here and take the O-Plate? It's Calirai who takes the fastest lap of the race by 1,000th of a second there, and Brule pushes him through into the lead. So Calirai takes the lead on lap 5 from Brule. Randall up in 4th, and Callum almost losing it there. He will drop back a little bit, but still in the lead fight as they all sweep through. It's hard to try and keep up with this, but Maximum still leads. We'll just look quickly further back as they go through the chicane, and we'll see who is where. We've got, there's Sam Dimlo in 13th, Martin Robinson in 12th, Martin, well caught there by Martin. That's those two out of it. There's Ryan Sandell, your GT Sport champion, who is hoping to climb back onto the back of his pack by the end of the race, but I think it's a bit far back. There's Jay Elliott and Andrew Maffa. Again, just hoping the pack keep fighting and giving him a chance to close in. So we're down to a pack of 8 at the front with it, Mignon at the back of it. So we move back to the front, and it's Calirai still pressuring Maximum for the lead. Randall has moved up into third place ahead of Brewell. This pack of 8 still sticking together. And a bump draft by Calarai. That's the first time I've seen the second place man really pushing the leader along and wanting to split this pack. But Randall's gone to the inside of Calarai and takes second place. Great opportunistic move there by Randall, and Randall goes for a lead, I think. No, it's Maximum for the lead. Too many black suits in this ship. But there's Calarai running out a bit wide. Randall goes for a lead up the inside of Maximum, but Maximum has a lovely outside line on this. But Randall shuts him off, and Randall leads going into lap 8. So just to run you through the order, it is Brewell who leads. Where did Brewell get that run through the final chicane? A brilliant run. He needs to save that for the final lap. So it's Brewell who leads from Randall. Cameron Drayton up into third place. This is the best showing that we've seen from him over the season so far. And Harris is second. And who's that? Who's been pushed out wide? Somebody got pushed out wide. It was Randall. So Randall is out of it. We're down to 7. This is like a knockout race, and we're 4 abreast into the final corner. Who's going to come out of the other side intact? It's Harris who lost out there, dropping back to 7th, but he's still in the pack, which is most important. Calarai actually back there in 7th as well. But Maximum still leads this. Actually, him and Cameron Drayton have pulled away from this pack. Is this a decisive move? It's lap 9 out of 10. We've only got 1 to go after this, and these two have pulled out clear. Could we get a Maximum finally in as Calarai is off? Calarai is off, so we're down to 6. Maximum could finally take this win, but Cameron Drayton is still hanging with him. These two not fighting at the moment, as behind Brewell has moved up into third place in this O-plate race, and we go on to the final lap. It's between Maximum and Cameron Drayton for the win at the moment, unless they start fighting hard and the pack behind close. It is Tim Clark and Callum Brewell, the teammates in the championship, which we've just finished, fighting out over third place, and Eric Mignon in there as well with Peter Harris. But these two, Maximum and Cameron Drayton, for the lead. Cameron Drayton just sitting there. Will he make a move into his final corner? Maximum has been very strong on the outside line. Cameron Drayton not gone for it, and he's actually ran wide. So into the final straight through the chicane. Maximum is going to be the O-plate winner of the final. He weaves across the line. The line's a bit further, Nathan. You might want to make it first. So Nathan Maximum wins the O-plate from Jack Cameron, and Peter Harris, a well-deserved third place there, ahead of Tim Clark, Callum Brewell and Eric Mignon. We have Trevor Randall down in 7th, looking so strong early on. Ryan Sandell fought back to 8th after that opening lap disaster for him, and Jay Elliott in 9th. Andrew Maffer comes home in 10th from Calarai, Sam Dimolo and Martin Robinson. But your O-plate winner, what a race that was. I couldn't keep up with it. But the winner of the O-plate is Nathan Maximum. Well deserved, to be fair, after his second place in the championship that has just gone by. And, well, what a race that was. Kev Calarai says, I died. Yeah, we saw you fly off into the barrier about near the end of the race, and it reduced it to 6. But I think all the drivers did a tremendous job in their races. Andrew Maffer saying P10 standard. Andrew, you got your podium at Suzuka. That could be your highlight for the year. But we have what a night of racing that's been, and that was just for 4 races. If you race in Club 100 sprints, you get 12 of them and the finals. So you don't race in 12, you get 3 of the 12 and the finals, and you can watch the rest. It'd be amazing. It was all about the toe. We need to find a track like that in Britain. Maybe Club 100 should go to Silverstone. But anyway, To round off our championship, we had Ryan Sandell as the champion of the regular season, and the O-Plate has been won by Nathan Maximan. The two drivers well deserved throughout the season, and if you'd like to join for next season, look at the Club 100 group. If you're a Club 100 driver, you can join that and put your name down with Sam Dimolo, who I guess will be looking at running a second season, maybe even a second lobby if we have enough drivers, which will both be commentated on. You can see some changes going on for some fun races next. But from me, it's been a great night. It's been a pleasure to commentate on this championship, and hopefully I will be back next year to commentate on all the races. And I thank you and good night.